The City of Boston Zoning Board of Appeal hearing for December 9, 2025 is now in session. This hearing is being conducted in accordance with the applicable provisions of the open meeting law, including the updated provisions enacted by the legislature this year. The new law allows the board to continue its practice of holding virtual hearings through June 2027. This hearing of the board is being held remotely via the Zoom webinar event platform and is also being live streamed. In order to ensure this hearing of the board is open to the public, members of the public may access this hearing through telephone and video conferencing. The information for connecting to this hearing is listed on today's hearing agenda, which is posted on the public notices page of the city's website, boston.gov. Members of the public will enter the virtual hearing as attendees, which means you will not see yourself on the screen and you will be muted throughout unless administratively unmuted when asked to comment. Board members, applicants, and their attorneys or representatives will participate in this hearing as panelists, and they will appear alongside the presentation materials when speaking. Panelists are strongly encouraged to keep video on while presenting to the board. As with our in-person meetings, comments in support will be followed by comments in opposition. The order of comments is as follows: elected officials, representatives of elected officials, and members of the public. The chair may limit the number of people called upon to offer a comment and the time for commenting as time constraints require. For that reason, the board prefers to hear from members of the public who are most impacted by a project, that is, those individuals who live closest to the project. If you wish to comment on an appeal, please click the raise hand button alongside the bottom of your screen in the Zoom webinar platform. Click it again and your hand should go down. When the host sees your hand, you will receive a request to unmute yourself. Select yes and you should be able to talk. If you are connected to the hearing by telephone, please press *9 to raise and lower your hand. You must press *6 to unmute yourself after you receive the request from the host. Those called upon to comment will be asked to state their name and address first and then can provide their comment. In the interest of time and to ensure that you have enough time to do so, please raise your hand as soon as Mr. Stembridge reads the address into the record. Do not raise your hand before the relevant address is called, or the meeting host will not know to call on you at the appropriate time. We ask that you keep your comments brief, and all public testimony will be limited to 90 seconds per speaker. That's Mr. Stembridge.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Good morning. Mr. Valencia.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Good morning. Ms. Turner.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Good morning. Ms. Barbraza.
Madam Chair, present.
Good morning. Ms. Wewell.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Good morning. Mr. Langham.
Good morning, Madam Chair. Present.
Good morning. The floor is yours, Mr. Stembridge.
Thank you, Madam Chair. We will begin today's hearing with the approval of hearing minutes scheduled for 9:30. These hearing minutes, the hearing minutes are from the dates as follows: October 23rd, October 28th, November 6th, November 18th, and November 25th, all of 2025. I will make a motion for approval of the minutes.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge.
Yeah.
Mr. Valencia.
Yes.
Ms. Turner.
Yes.
Ms. Wewell.
Yes.
Mr. Langham.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Next,
I don't think you asked for me, Madam Chair.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Ms. Barbraza.
Yes.
Thank you. Motion carries.
Next, we'll move on to the extensions scheduled for 9:30 a.m. All the extensions appear to be reasonable. I'll read them in one after the other. If there are any questions after that, we can address those to Madam Chair and take a vote. We'll begin with case BOA 1341467 with the address of 3407 to 3409 Washington Street. Next, we have case BOA 1341344 with the address of 635 Hyde Park Avenue. Next, we have case BOA 1371277 with the address of 1180 Washington Street. And Next, we have case BOA 1485817 with the address of 521 Cambridge Street. And those are the extensions that we have for today.
Are there any questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have a motion to grant the extensions as requested?
Motion to grant the extensions as requested.
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Next, we have a board final operative case scheduled for 9:30. This is case BOA 1679542 with the address of 23 Nottingham Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, would they please explain to the board?
Madam Chair, I need to recuse myself.
Thank you. So we are a 6-member board for this case. Is Mr. Frazier or someone else on for 23 Nottingham? Jesus, do you see any raised hand for this?
No, Madam Chair. Let me
Okay.
let me type. If I see someone, I will let you know. But no, I don't see.
Okay. Well, then let's keep going.
Will do. We will go to the groundwater conservation overlay district case scheduled for 9:30 a.m. This is case BOA 1795138 with the address of 146 to 150 Mill Street. If the applicants and/or their representative are present, would they please explain to the board?
Good morning. Thanks for the introduction. My name is David Linhart with Coulson & Stores at 1 Post Office Square on behalf of Wingate, the proponent, and we do have the proponent and the project team available if there are questions. So good morning, Madam Chair and board members. This project at 150 Milk, or also known as 75 Central Street, is part of the Planning Department's downtown office to residential conversion program. And so as noted in the short description, it's a conversion of the existing office space to 18 multifamily units. It's consistent with inclusionary zoning, so it has 3 affordable units. And the ground floor, in addition to having residential amenities, will be activated with continued commercial use. The project itself just went through small project review. It received its small project review vote on November 13, 2025. And I'm not getting into too many details about the project other than that explanation, because the only item of zoning relief is GCOD, is the Groundwater Conservation Overlay District. We're a substantial rehabilitation, and actually under the current zoning, the site was just rezoned. Substantial rehabilitations would be processed through ISD directly, although we filed previously under the prior zoning where this does need GCOD approval from the Board of Appeals. So we're here, and we're mainly coming to explain that we're intending to install a compliant rainwater infiltration system, and we've submitted the Boston Water and Sewer compliance letter and also our project engineer's no harm certification to show that the infiltration system will be consistent with GCOD standards. And with that, we'd ask for your approval vote. Thank you.
Thank you. Any questions from the board? Is Mr. Simonelli on?
Yes, Madam Chair. Good morning, members of the board. Christian Simonelli, Boston Groundwater Trust, and we have both GCOD letters from the applicant.
Thank you so much. With that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval for GCOD.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Thank you. Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank
Good
you.
luck.
Next, we have recommendations scheduled for 9:30 a.m., either from the subcommittee on Thursday, December 4th. I'll read through, all of them were approved. I'll read through and then we can vote. We begin with case BOA 1754594 with the address of 97 Horace Street. That was approved. Next, we have case BOA 1788331 with the address of 1 Hudson Street, which was approved. Next, we have case BOA 1772325 with the address of 232 to 234 Commercial Street, which was approved. Next, we have case BOA 1764003, the address of 850 to 852 Summer Street. Next, we have case BOA 1757382 with the address of 79 Sheridan Street. This was approved. Provisos that nothing be built on the adjoining property going across the line, and for planning department design review. Next, we have case BOA 1757478 with the address of 7 Floor Street. Was approved. Then we have case BOA 1774658 with the address of 12 Lorraine Street. Next, we have case BOA 1784562, the address of 26 Woodford Avenue, which was approved. And finally, we have case BOA 1787374 with the address of 71 Anawam Avenue. Madam Chair, those were the cases from the subcommittee.
Any questions from the board? May I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Better Brazza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Next, we'll move on to the hearings scheduled for 9:30 a.m. Again, with asking if there are any requests for withdrawals or deferrals from the 9:30 a.m. time frame.
Mr. Lacasse?
Yes, please. Mr. Stenbridge, 3430-3436 Washington Street.
That would be for case BOA 1765915 with the address of 3430 to 3436 Washington Street. Go ahead, Attorney Lacasse.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Mark Lacasse, Lacasse Law, 75 Arlington Street in Boston, attorney for the applicant. This is one of two companion cases involving two new buildings on Washington Street, Jamaica Plain, that had been approved by the planning department in July of this year, but only one of them was advertised for today. So I spoke to Stephanie this morning, and she indicated they would be able to re-advertise for this case and the second companion case, 3440 Washington Street, for hearing on January 13, 2026 at 11:30 a.m. So that is what I'm requesting.
Thank you. May I have a motion?
Motion to defer this case to January 13th, 2026.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Mr. Valencia,
Yes.
Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Benabraza,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham.
Yes.
Chair votes yes,
Thank
motion
you.
carries. See you then.
Thank you so much.
Are there any further requests for withdrawals or deferrals from the 9:30 a.m. timeframe? With that, then, we'll begin with case BOA 1769549 with the address of 5 West Hill Place. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, will they please explain the case to the board?
Yes, good morning, Mr. Stenbridge and members of the board. My name is Timothy Burke. I'm the architect for the project. And with me today is also the owners, Lindy and Jay Johnson are on the call. The Johnsons live in this building. It's a 3-unit condominium. There is a 4th condominium unit that has been on the assessor's rolls for 40 years, but has never been made a dwelling unit. So we're seeking permission to convert the existing basement space to a studio apartment. It's going to be owned by the Lindy and Jay. And it's really used for when their daughter visits them from, she lives abroad. So the idea was to make use of this underutilized space. It creates another dwelling unit with a minimal amount of work and very little impact. There's no changes to the exterior. We do need relief because we're creating a new unit for off-street parking, which we have no way to provide here. And also the FAR goes to 2.1, which is 2.0 is the allowable in this district. The last sheet shows the plan of the unit, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members. C. Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant has completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on September 29th at which no concerns were raised. The Beacon Hill Civic Association is in non-opposition to this application. With that background, our office defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Chair and members of the board. My name is Lily. I'm here on behalf of Councillor Durkin. After connecting with BHCA, she would like to go on record in support of this application. Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay, with that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval.
May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge,
Yes.
Mr. Valencia,
Yes.
Ms. Turner,
Yes.
Ms. Benabraza,
Yes.
Ms. Wewell,
Yes.
Mr. Langham.
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Next, we have case BOA 1694621 with the address of 562 East 5th Street. If the applicant and the representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Stenbridge. Madam Chair, members of the board, Attorney Ryan Spitz with Adams and Moranci. Business address of 168 H Street, first floor, South Boston. Joining me today is Alex Gibson from the development team and the project architect Eric Zackerson. This is a proposal to preserve and renovate the existing historic structure and erect a new 3-story addition to contain a total of 4 units with 4 parking spaces located in the rear. This parcel consists of approximately 5,361 square feet. Proposal falls within an MFR subdistrict and is aligned with the area stated planning goals, medium density infill housing, preserving a historic structure, and increasing the availability of housing options under Boston 2030. I'd also like to mention the applicant, prior to filing this application with the Inspectional Services Department, has had preliminary conversations with the Landmarks Commission regarding the design. Hence, after working through those design conversations, this is the plan that was actually filed, along with the substantial changes that were made going through the community process. The existing structure will contain Unit 1, while the addition will contain Units 2, 3, and 4. Unit 1 will contain approximately 1,435 square feet and 485 square feet of basement space, which will be a 3-bedroom. Unit 2 will be approximately 1,980 square feet located on the first floor of the addition. It will be a 2-bedroom. Unit 3, located on the second floor of the addition, will contain 1,340 square feet, which will also be another 2-bedroom. And Unit 4, located on the third floor of the addition, will contain approximately 1,325 square feet, will be another 2-bedroom. We have violations for the roof structure restriction, which is a conditional use permit being sought as the building is partially being demolished in the rear and the addition exceeds the front building's height, but is below the 40-foot requirement under Article 68, as this proposal is at 32 feet in total height. The extension into the rear yard of 1,000 square feet or more is another conditional use permit, as the addition extends into the rear yard by more than 1,000 square feet, but does not trigger any violation for the rear yard setback, as the rear yard setback is currently 33 feet and 20 feet is what is required under this sub-district. Further, the proposed FAR is at a 1.37, which is well under the 2.0 requirement under Article 68. We have a parking insufficiency. Code requires 1.5 parking spaces per new unit of housing, and this proposal calls for 4 total spaces, but is aligned with the mayor's initiative of reducing dependency on private vehicles. Further, is aligned with the Transportation Department's recommended parking ratios for the area being 1-to-1. Lastly, we have a screening and buffering violation, as the parking spaces are less than 5 feet from the lot lines. However, this can be addressed during design review if approved. And then also, I'd just like to end, Madam Chair, with this proposal is well aligned with the Planning Department's recommendation of approval. At this point, I'm going to turn it over to you for any questions or comments.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and board member, C. Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant has completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting in March of 2025, after which the proposal was substantially reworked. A follow-up abutters meeting was held on August 7th, 2025, at which concerns remained about parking. The Gate of Heaven Neighborhood Association is in non-opposition to this proposal. Our office is also aware that the applicant forwarded a letter of support for their original version of their proposal in March to the board. That background, we defer judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have Ashley.
Thank you. At this time, Councilor Flynn would also like to highlight for the board that at the outset of the community process, there was overwhelming concern that a 6-story, 4-unit building did not fit in with the character of the surrounding neighborhood on East 5th Street and beyond. But since that time, the project has evolved and has been reduced significantly from 6 units down to 4 units with 4 parking spots. The height reduced from over 43 feet to match the existing roof at 31 feet side, and rear yard setbacks increased. FAR reduced significantly, the rear stair enclosed and parking in the exterior. As a result, Councilor Flynn understands that these number of changes have alleviated a number of concerns from nearby neighbors, abutters, and civic organizations. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay. With that, may I have a motion?
I put forward a motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Better-Brazza?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next, we have case BOA 1760013 with the address of 110 West Concord Street. If the applicant and or their representative are present, will they please explain the case to the board?
Yes, good morning. It's Marcus Springer of Springer Architects, 46 Waltham Street, Courtyard 1, Boston, Mass. 02118. This project is for a roof deck on atop the rear living room structure of the main building. It will be spanning over the existing copper roof. The intent is to demolish the existing solarium, that kind of white structure on the back, and create an access stair on that to the deck above. We go to the next one. The zoning code refusal is for restricted roof structures. And we met with the Landmark Commission on site and received a certificate of exemption from them. It's not viewable from any street, and the street it's on is exempt. We had an abutters meeting on August 26th. There were no reservations about the project during that meeting. And these are the plans. So off the living room, you would have basically an access stair and an office. If you go to the next one, basically it's an access stair to the deck above. The deck will be cantilevered over the copper roof. And that's it, clad in red cedar.
Okay. Questions from the board?
Oh, and sorry. Then there's the structural plans, and then at the very end there are 14 letters of support, 4 of which are from direct abutters.
Are there questions from the board?
I think what I'm missing is typically, and sometimes it's presented at the South End Landmark District, is a section showing whether the structure is visible from across the street. It seems like that kind of drawing or diagram is missing, but you mentioned that you cannot see it from across the street.
That's correct.
Do you have drawings that display that? Or can you indicate in the roof how far off it is from the front?
How do you mean how far off it is from the front?
Like what's the offset from the front of the building?
The roof itself?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's roughly a foot above the roof.
Can you show us where it is in the roof plan?
Yes, we'll go back to the drawings. So this plan of the deck is directly above the copper roof below, and then if you go to the elevations, there you see.
So I can't see it in context. Like, where is this penthouse relative to the overall building?
Oh, I see what you mean. Go to the.
And that's how typically you would, you usually would show a section showing how visible it is from across. But I'm just missing that drawing. But that being said, it would be great to have Jeff Hampton or someone from BPD, because their recommendation was denial, due to an interest in having a hatch versus a penthouse. And it seems like the architect already kind of put this forward in front of South End Landmark and received kind of, you say, initial approval?
It was a letter of exemption. The area in question is not in the South End Landmark's purview.
Okay, so it would be great to hear from BPD.
Yes, he was on my list. Are there any other questions from the board? Okay, is Mr. Hampton on?
Yes, thanks. Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. Jeff Hampton, City of Boston Planning Department. Ms. Benavarez, I agree with you. Without that cross-section, we had a very difficult time wrapping our head around the height, whether or not it was going to be visible from the street, to what extent is this head house going to be above the roof. That is why we recommended denial. As you know, we're not really one to stand in the way of something like this, especially if Landmarks gives it the exemption. But because we were missing that cross-section in the elevation, that's why we went with the recommendation of denial.
Oh, I see what you mean. So, yeah, it's over the first floor and the building's 4 stories high. So you wouldn't see it from West Concord at all.
Right, and that's just something that wasn't part of it, so we didn't know if it was going up 4 stories or 1 story.
Oh, I see what you mean. Sorry about that. I get you. Yeah.
That's why I guess you weren't understanding what I was
right.
asking.
I didn't understand what you were talking about. Yeah.
When you were saying the roof, we didn't know if there was a 4-story extension going up over that.
Oh, no.
No.
The living room's on the first floor. It's just the first floor.
Okay. So I think I heard enough. That would be great. That sounds great for explaining. Thank you so much.
Any other questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Yes, hi. My name is Dr. Mohamed Hamidi, and I live in Unit 2 at 112 West Concord Street, directly next door.
Oh, you're muted. You just muted yourself.
Sorry about that. Yes. My name is Mohamed Hamidi, and I live in Unit 2 at 112 West Concord Street, directly next door to the proposed roof deck. I strongly oppose the project. First, the deck would sit immediately adjacent to our living space, eliminating our privacy and exposing us to frequent noise in a very dense neighborhood. Second, we rely on 2 fire escape routes from our unit, and one of them exits onto the roof at 112 West Concord. The proposed deck could block the staircase. The proposed deck and enclosed staircase could block this emergency escape path, creating a significant safety concern. Third, the proposal will negatively impact our property value and quality of life through loss of privacy, increased noise, and obstruction of natural lights and views, including seasonal sunset exposure that we currently enjoy. Finally, the rooftop use typically includes grilling. Any barbecue activity will direct smoke and odors into our windows, making it difficult to use and ventilate our home. For these reasons, I respectfully ask the board to deny this request. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chair?
Any other raised hands? Okay, can the applicant briefly respond to those concerns?
Yes, I can. The fire escape is not blocked. The deck ends and provides for the escape from that window. So the fire escape system is left intact. The wall next to 112 is largely solid, except for that window that he was talking about, which is the fire escape, which I mentioned does not change. So that escape hatch is there. The wall of 112, between 112 and 110, is a solid brick wall and a metal clad wall, which is not affected by the access stair to the deck in terms of the sun path. The stair is articulated in such a way to minimize the mass, to just follow the stair itself.
Any other questions from the board?
I'm sorry, Madam Chair, members of the board, my Zoom crashed. I can provide my testimony if you'd like.
Please.
My name is Eva Jones. I'm representing the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services regarding 110 West Concord Street. Our office defers to the board's judgment. A community process was conducted, including an abutters meeting held on 8/26/25 that was lightly attended by 2 South End community members who did not provide any questions or feedback. My office has also received the 14 letters of support from the applicant that were submitted to the board, and the proposal was not in the catchment area of any local civic associations and was not asked to meet with any regarding this proposal. At this time, the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services defers to the board's judgment on this matter. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? Hearing none, is there a motion?
I'd like to put forward a motion to defer the case to allow the applicant to submit two drawings. I think would clarify, for me at least, to review the project in its whole, which would be the cross section, just to look at where the addition is in relationship to the building, the whole building. And the second drawing would be to do kind of an egress drawing to show that the egress is remaining and that the structure does not interfere with the egress, which I cannot see identified in the existing drawings.
That's fine.
Is there a second?
Second, and I think this is an opportunity for the applicant to talk to the neighbor and figure it out how they can improve the project.
Okay, so I heard a motion and a second. Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Better-Brazza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries. Is there a date? Yes.
Madam Chair, we're into February of the deferrals. We have February 3rd or February 24th.
Mr. Springer?
February 3rd's fine, thank you.
All right, thank you. See you then.
Bye-bye.
Next, we have case BOA 1688948 with the address of 47 Dell Avenue. If the applicant or their representative are present, would they please explain to the board?
Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Stenbridge. Anthony Mackey, architect for 47 Dell Avenue. This project is an existing three-family in the jacket. It's been used historically and taxed historically as a 4-unit building. This application is part of a comprehensive renovation of the building, which includes a full gut and rebuild. The proposal is to make the building a legal 4-family, and it includes rear porches, side porch, a head house at the top of the building, which includes front deck at the roof and a rear deck at the roof. We are removing the existing stair system inside of the building just due to its condition, and it's sort of dangerous. The proposed is for a new stairway, 4 new units, 1 bedroom, rear decks, and then a side deck there, as you can see. And I'll go through the violations. Insufficient rear yard setback due to the addition of rear porch. Insufficient lot area per unit. We're hoping to make up for this with the decks to be serviced per unit. And then since we're adding a unit, we need a parking space. We do not have room for that currently. And we are adding a head house here. The existing height of the building is 36 feet 2 inches. The proposed height is 47 feet. We've done a similar renovation at 55 Dell Avenue. It came out very well. It also has a head house there, and it looks very, very nice. We've performed the abutters meeting. No objections were heard at that time, and we also met with Community Alliance of Mission Hill. No objections were heard at that time either. I think that's the project.
Any questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, Siggy Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant has completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on June 25th, at which abutters were supportive of the proposal. The Community Alliance of Mission Hill is in support of this application, and our office has also forwarded 2 letters of support to the board. That background, we defer judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Oh, sorry. I would like to chime in. My name is Lily. I'm here on behalf of Councilor Durkin. She would like to go on record in support, reiterating CAMH's strong support for the project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Without, there are no additional comments.
Okay, may I have a motion?
Motion of approval with planning review from the planning department.
There a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Better-Brazza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, members of the board.
The next case has been deferred, so that takes us to case BOA 1554854. The address is 69R Perrin Street. It's the applicant and/or the representative present. Would they please explain the case to the board?
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is Tim Longden, 1A Treetop Circle in Northborough. I'm the owner of 69R Perrin Street, Roxbury. I'd first like to offer some background on the site and explain this proposal. in that context. This site, 69R Parent Street, was originally a portion of a much larger parcel, 67 Parent Street, which I purchased in March of 2023. I subdivided that lot into 3 separate parcels. The first was 67 Parent Street, where I rehabilitated an existing 3-family home. The second was 71 Parent Street, where I built a zoning compliant 3-family. And the last was this parcel, subject parcel 69R Parent Street, where I'm also seeking to construct a new 3-family. This is a rather simple and standard 3-story, 3-family dwelling on a non-standard lot. The parcel is 6,040 square feet and is in a 3F 4,000 zoning subdistrict, making the proposed 3-family dwelling perfectly suitable to the site. But owing to the unique geography of this site and its location behind the 2 other parcels I developed on Parent Street, zoning relief is required to accomplish what would otherwise, like 71 Parent Street, be a zoning compliant building. The zoning refusal letter was issued owing to 4 cited violations. First, there is a floor area ratio violation. I'm actually not certain this violation was correctly cited. The maximum FAR under zoning is 0.8. Here, Unit 1 and Unit 2 are each 1,360 square feet, and Unit 3 is 1,413 square feet, for a total of 4,133 square feet, plus approximately 100 additional square feet of non-unit area. 4,832 square feet are allowed by zoning. If the examiner counted the basement space, which has been marked unfinished, it would likely exceed allowable FAR, but only to a very small extent. There's a cited front yard setback violation. The required setback is 20 feet, while the front of this building is approximately 14 feet from the lot line, separating this lot from 67 Parent Street. That area of the 67 Parent Street lot is a parking area, so there's no impact on the residents in that building, which is located nearly 45 feet away from its rear lot line. There is a cited rear yard insufficiency. The required setback is 30 feet, whereas the provided setback varies from approximately 11 to 12 feet. But there is a significant setback of the building to the rear from its own rear lot line, mitigating any potential negative impact from this violation. The violation is caused, again, by the perpendicular geometry of the lot and is unavoidable in order to allow reasonable 3-family development of a lot that meets minimum lot size requirements. Also, there is a violation arising from lack of screen and buffering of the building's 3-spot parking area. If the board were to see fit to approve this, we would be happy to work with the planning department on a suitable landscaping plan, as well as to refine the architectural plans in light of the neighborhood design overlay district. Finally, I wish to point out that the fire lane access from Burton Ave was reviewed and approved by the Boston Fire Department and is stamped on the site plan as complying with 527 CMR. Thank you.
Thank you. So can you clarify, you mentioned Burton Ave, so will this property be exiting from Burton Ave or onto Perrin? Like if I'm a resident there, how am I accessing my unit?
So when I spoke in front of the community, they wanted to, well, actually 2 reasons. One, the community rather have vehicular access come to and from Burton Ave. And secondly, the only fire lane access we could provide was from Burton Ave.
So that means if I live there, I'm walking into my unit from Burton Ave? That's my question.
Yes, I mean, there would be a pedestrian access from Parent Street. But we are going to put up a fence so that there would be a pedestrian pass through. But as far as parking and car access, it would all come from Burton Ave.
Thank you. Other questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I'm the Roxbury Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on April 28th. That was very well attended, but not very well received by the community. Abutters felt the proposal, although reduced from 6 to 3 units, was still too large for the neighborhood and the parcel. Abutters and residents of the community felt the area is already too dense and congested and will increase the traffic and parking issues currently experienced by the neighborhood, with the proposal having access to both Burton and Parent Street, as well as a concern for college students moving into the area. The civic leader who oversees Roxbury Path Forward Neighborhood Association has had issues with the college students renting out in the area and is concerned that the developer will continue to rent out to college students. Next, the proponent presented to 9th Street Neighborhood Association on October 20th, where abutters again felt the proposal, although reduced from 6 to 3 units, was still too large for the proposal, for the parcel. Our office has received 3 letters of opposition. I will read a brief description of 2 as they have been sent to the board for review. Our office has received 1 letter from 9th Street's United Neighborhood Association, Alaska Parent Association, and Project Right, requesting to not allow a cut through for pedestrians and vehicles to travel between Copeland and Parent Street, and to continue to exist due to significant public safety issues, as well as requesting a deferral for Burton Avenue residents to be fully engaged in the process. And 1 from Roxbury Path Forward, requesting that the proposal be deferred so that the address can be updated to Burton Ave from Parent Street for clarity and to ensure that the correct group of residents are made aware of the project. The Civic has dealt with the proponent in the past with Parent Street, which was built as of right. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for their judgment.
Okay.
Thank you.
Next, we have Lorraine Payne.
Hello, I'm here today on behalf of Roxbury Path Forward Neighborhood Association. And as Jeremy said, we are very concerned that this project's only entrance would be from Burton Ave. And I understand that now the developer, or one of the developers, because there are 3 developers, but one of them has now said that there would be no foot access there would be no car access from Parent Street, but there would be pedestrian access. But when he came to the meeting at Project Right, that's not what he said. And so we've had this several times with this particular developer that he comes to the city and says something else. So we would like to have this deferred so that we can ensure that the people on Burton Ave and Copeland Street, because Burton Ave is really like an alley, would have a chance to speak about the project as well. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Can the developer address those concerns from Mr. Bembry and Ms. Wheeler?
Yes, so this has been under review with the community, I want to say for the past 18 months. It's possibly could be as long as 2 years. So we've tried to reach out to the homeowners on Burton Ave, just requesting some feedback. I've tried on 2 occasions now and haven't received any. We deferred this last year when I had proposed 6 units. Due to the neighborhood feedback, I reduced that to 3. And as far as the pedestrian access from Parent Street, that is a life safety issue. So that was with the fire department. When we decided on the vehicular access from Burton Ave, and as far as the fire lane, we could put up the fence to reduce, so that there wouldn't be any vehicular cut through from Burton Ave to Parent Street. But we did need to have a pedestrian exit for the folks at 69R Parent Street in case of emergency. So we can lock it so there wouldn't be access from Parent Street, and the only way to utilize that door would be from 69R Parent Street in case of emergency. But we can't just put up a fence and restrict pedestrian access per the fire department.
Other questions from the board?
Yes, Madam Chair. My understanding is Burton Street is a private way?
Yes.
Burton Ave. So who's responsible for maintaining that?
We would have responsibility along with the other residents on Burton Ave.
Would it remain a private way, or would it become a city street?
It would remain a private way, I think, until it was, if somebody proposed something to PIC. But for now, it would remain a private way.
And so, if I heard you correctly, you said you reached out to people on Burton Ave and you got no response?
Yeah, we got no response. I did that twice. I was asked to do it. I met with 9 Streets United a few times over the past couple months, just sort of checking in, and I had sent mailers out twice and received nothing. So, and they had also, there was no one from Burton Ave who had attended the community meetings.
Thank you.
Okay, any other questions from the board? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion of approval with Planning Department design review.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
I'm going to say no, Madam Chair. I believe the changes are, I understand that the residents on Burton Ave have been reached out to, but I believe this needs, you need to hear from someone on that street, that private way, whatever. So I'll just leave it there and say no.
Thank you. Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
No, for reasons of, I would hope for a better community process. I agree with Mr. Stenbridge. And also, I know that there are concerns around people who live on Copeland Ave as well. So I'd like to encourage the applicant to reach out to those folks as well.
Ms. Barraza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
I'm going to vote no too.
The chair votes no, the motion does not carry. Is there another motion?
Motion of deferral, Madam Chair.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Barraza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. So,
February 3rd or February 24th?
does that
February 3rd works.
Which one? Sorry, February 3rd?
I'm sorry, February 3rd?
Okay, and does that give you sufficient time for the additional outreach that the board has
Yes.
recommended? Okay. See you then.
Thank you.
Next, we have case BOA 1730685 with the address of 10 Heckler Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, would they please explain the case to the board? Is there any?
Yeah, no, I was going to say Chris Wise is the applicant for this project here. I don't see anybody for this project at the moment.
Well, and then come back to it. Okay, so we'll move on for now to case BOA 1733253 with the address of 53 Brown Avenue. If the applicant and or their representative present, will they please explain?
Sure. My name's Timothy Sheehan. I'm at 9 Wall Street in Charlestown. I'm the architect for the project. My client, Fred, is the builder. He's on as well. Basically, what we want to do is put a single family house on this lot. It's an existing lot. It's an existing undersized parcel. It's 35 feet wide, and the majority of the houses are 50 or 55, but it's adjacent to another 35-foot parcel, and 2 houses away, there's also a 37-foot parcel with almost an identical house on it. So just in particular, the house itself, what we want to do is create a Yeah, 3294 gross square feet, which puts us over on the FAR. But what we're trying to do is build a 3-story, 2 main stories and a gable story with a master. It'll be 4 bedrooms, 4 baths. The big difference from number 45 down the street, which is very similar, is we don't want to have the parking at the front, so we've turned it around from the Ada Street side. So we have 2 garage spaces under a deck, and then there's a 50-foot driveway, which they could park in as well, I suppose. My client has dealt with the West Village Neighborhood Association. There's some landscaping issues as well, and we've worked with them on this as well. And as far as the violations go, we have a few of them here. Our refusal letter had lot area insufficient. It's a 4,200 square foot lot, a 6,000 minimum. The width is at 35 feet. It's under the 50 required. Side yards have to be 10 feet. We have a 22.5 foot wide house on a 35 foot lot. So right and left are like 6.2 and 6.3. And then, frontage I talked about. Frontage is at 35 feet. Our neighborhood process has gone well so far. Like I said, we dealt with the West Village the Neighbors Association, and basically mostly about landscaping. And that's the project. Any questions, please let me know.
Thank you. Are there any questions from the board?
Yes, I have a question. So landscaping issues, I understand there's a maple tree on the project. Can you talk a little bit about how you would deal with the tree and the other landscaping issues, if there are any?
Unfortunately, that sugar maple is right in the middle of the site. It's a 24-inch caliper tree. So we'd remove that one. There's another existing 18-inch caliper sugar maple at the back right, looking from Brown Ave. So we could keep that. And our plan was to add 3 trees. In the front, we'd do a flowering dogwood. On the back, looking from Ada Street to the right, we could get in a Japanese cherry and a Japanese Zelkova. And then I've got various plantings. We went back and forth with the neighbors, with the association a bit, but we got to the point where we had a plan that they were happy with. And that's what we do. Like I said, that tree in the middle, it's almost directly in the middle of the site, and the root ball has got to be out, covering 50% of the lot. So there's just no way to save that tree in the middle. But we can save the other existing good-sized 18-inch caliper sugar maple. We'll keep that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board?
Is there an existing curb cut for you to have access to the rear
At the
garage?
back? I don't believe so, no. I can just look on Google Earth real quick in the back.
Because there's no...
Not in the front, I mean in the back, in the back. Well, we're doing the parking from the back, and there's really no parking there.
Right, but so I don't see I don't see in your plot plan
Oh, they
a
doing
curb
that.
cut.
I don't think there's a sidewalk there. My client's speaking. I don't know if you can hear
Hi, good morning.
him. Thanks, Fred.
There is not a sidewalk in the back.
That's what I thought.
Coming off of Ader, it would be repaved going in there, but currently there is not a sidewalk or curb cut necessary.
Is it flushed, or do you have to create a curb cut?
Not necessarily. Well, to create the driveway, you would have a quote unquote curb cut. However, the driving into the area basically.
Could speak up, sir.
It's basically.
And it's a private
flat.
road. Being a private road, we would create it just like we would normally, but the curb cut per se just comes in flush with the grade.
Is it currently, I think it says existing asphalt, is it currently being used as a parking space? Yes.
What's that? I'm sorry?
Are you currently using it as surface parking?
Yes, there's surface parking on both sides of the existing house next door at 55 Brown Ave. There's a 2-car garage, which is next door, a separate lot, completely separate lot. And being the private road, we're going to come up and make a similar approach to our garage under.
Okay. I don't have any further questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I am the Roslindale Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on July 8th, where abutters voiced concerns and 2 abutters voiced opposition to the proposal in line with many of the concerns of the abutters. Abutters felt the lot is too small and the area is too dense and too congested, and also voiced concerns for parking and increased traffic. Another concern was water runoff and groundwater and how it will adversely affect the foundations of abutting properties, coupled with another concern, which was the lack of green space and trees, which will exacerbate the groundwater concern and may cause more flooding than some residents already experience. Because of this concern, the abutters requested to maintain the current green space and trees on the property. A direct abutter voiced concerns for setbacks as the distance from their abutting home is less than required, leaving the proposal encroaching on their property. Next, the proponent was connected to West Village Neighborhood Association, where a landscaping plan was submitted that the neighborhood association felt was a good compromise to compensate for the loss of the 100-year-old sugar maple tree, and the community process was completed. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for their judgment.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval with a proviso that the project undergoes site plan review with BPD to ensure that a replacement of the trees is an equal, because it is a very mature tree that's being removed.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Thembridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Better-Brazza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries. Good
Thank you,
luck.
everybody.
Thank you for your time.
Next, we have, next we have case BOA 177-5452. Try this again. Case BOA 177-5242 with the address of 1 Heartland Road. If the applicant and or the representative are present, would they please explain the case to the board?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Stembridge. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Attorney John Pulgini here on behalf of the proposal at 1 Heartland Road in West Roxbury. I am joined today by Antonio Ferrara, who is the project proponent. 1 Heartland Road, West Roxbury, zoning is single family 6,000, lot size is 4,645 square feet. The proposal is to raise the existing structure, which is a vacant, dilapidated eyesore building located at 157 Baker Street, and in its place, build a new 3-story single-family house with a 1-car attached garage, as well as it'll have 1 additional parking space in front of the garage if it's needed. The new house will be will now face Heartland Road rather than Baker Street, as the existing house does not have a curb cut opening, and we thought it was best to utilize the side street to provide safer access to the driveway and to the garage. The proposal is to build a 4-bedroom, 2.5-bathroom house. It will be approximately 2,157 square feet of living space. Our violations were FAR, allowed is 4, we're at 4.46. Lot area 6,4645, frontage is 60, we're 5766. Front yard setback is 20 required, we're at 18, and then rear yard setback is 30 and 12. On the rear yard setback, the rear of the house, the property that it butts on Baker Street, on that side of their house, they have approximately an 18-foot driveway. So between the two of them, it is, well off of that house. And that abutter, who is the most impacted, has signed a letter of support and submitted that to the board. If you look to the plans on page 1 of the plans that are included, this is just a site plan showing the new houses orientation as well as the dimensional setbacks. Page 2 is a front elevation of the home. Page 3 is the left side elevation. 4 is the rear elevation. 5 is the right side elevation, and page 6 is the basement plan, which will be unfinished and used to house the home's mechanicals. Page 7 is the first floor plan, showing a kitchen, a dining room, living room, half bath in the location of the garage. Page 8 is the second floor plan, which will have 3 beds and 2 baths. And page 9 is the attic plan, which includes a bedroom. The proposal went through a full community process, culminating with our presentation to the West Roxbury Neighborhood Council, where the proposal received full support. Additionally, we have provided the board with approximately 12 letters of support from all contiguous abutters, as well as other neighbors. That's a presentation. I'm happy to answer any questions that anybody has.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board?
Yes, on the site plot plan, I don't see the curb cut, access to the garage.
So thanks for the question, Ms. Benabraza. We are adding a curb cut on Hart Lawn, and we chose that side street as it is obviously much less traveled than Baker Street. So there will be a curb cut that we will have put in there that will provide access to the garage.
Okay, so you're going to be putting that permit application for the curb cut. We're just not seeing it on the site plot plan?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and board members, Siggy Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This application has completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on October 15th, and abutters supported the proposal. A direct abutter raised a concern about the sewer line to their house running through this property from the street. The applicant met with the West Roxbury Neighborhood Council, which is in support of the application. The applicant has sent 12 form letters of support to the board. 6 of the addresses signed on the letters are in the 300-foot abutters radius. That background, our office defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'm going to just put this project forward with an approval. It's a pretty straightforward project, and it seems like it works with the context of West Roxbury in terms of the residential housing stock.
There a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Benabraza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you, everybody.
Next, we have case BOA 1772133 with the address of 106 Eastwood Circuit. If the applicant and or their representative present, would they please?
Madam Chair, I need to recuse myself from this case.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Valencia. We are now a 6-member board for this case.
Good morning, ZBA board. My name is Stephen Pettipass. I'm the architect for this particular project. This is the existing house is a non-conforming 1,600 square foot house, which is currently 1.5 stories. We're proposing to extend the house up to a 2nd floor and then an attic, which would be fully utilized, which then brings us under the 3rd story rule under the zoning law. The existing side yard setback is non-conforming. We are not changing at all the footprint of the house. The footprint of the house remains the same, so all of the yard setbacks remain the same. We are, because this is a very small lot, adding the square footage that we are brings us to the FAR rule. The addition to the house is only a 5,500 square feet. The existing house is 1,600 square feet. And from the street, it has the appearance as any typical 2.5 story home. And the rear has a dormer, which is slightly larger than half the length of the building, and it kicks us into the 3rd story.
Okay, are there questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and board members, Siggy Johnson with the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant has completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on September 25th, at which no concerns were raised. The West Roxbury Neighborhood Council is in support of this application. With that background, our office defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Chair, we have one person, Jim Kennedy. You have 90 seconds.
Yes, thank you, Madam Chair. For full disclosure, I am a plan examiner with the Inspectional Services Department, but I am not giving testimony. I'm giving testimony today as an abutter. I tried to give testimony at the West Roxbury Neighborhood Council meeting, but the meeting was supposed to take place at 7 p.m. I arrived at 6:50, and the meeting had already concluded. So I do not know why that happened, but now I'm here to give testimony today. I'm a little concerned about the design, being as now the building will have 2 front doors, a staircase that leads directly to the upstairs, where the second floor appears to have what they're calling a wet bar, but it's basically the same size and shape as the kitchen below. My concerns, obviously, there are no other 3-story buildings in the neighborhood. I understand it meets the height requirement in feet, but not in stories. The lot is small. I'm concerned about the FAR in comparison. It's already a pre-existing non-conforming structure. This will further extend that non-conformance. But my real true concern, and maybe the applicant might be able to answer this, is what are the true design plans for this building? I mean, is this going to become a 2-family or maybe some kind of a rooming house or an Airbnb? Because the design kind of speaks to that. So that was really my biggest concern. Thank you.
Thank you. Sure. This is the current situation of the family.
Recording stopped.
The current situation of the family is that the 2 elder parents
Recording in progress.
Live in the house, and they are in need of having a son, daughter-in-law, and 2 children move in with them because of the pressures of the economy and whatnot. And so, understanding that, they wanted a little bit of privacy between the son's family and themselves. And so the arrangement was for the interior design was basically decided upon the way in which you look at it now. It was to try to give as much separation between the 2 families, but at the same time it's being maintained as a single family and is being maintained with a single family. It's just trying to create a more comfort zone for the basically 3 generational family to be able to live together. This is not the first kind of project that I've done. I've done other projects in the past where we had 11 bedrooms because we had a 4-generational family living together. So the number of bedrooms is 5, 2 on the first floor, 3, 2 on the first floor, 1 on the second, and 2 above, total of 5 bedrooms. But the reason why it's arranged the way it is because we have a multi-generational family basically living together. I don't believe, I've not had any discussions with the owner as to whether he intends to divide it into 2, but perhaps he can speak to that. I believe he is at the meeting currently. John Conran.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, me and my wife moved down to the first floor, and we've been living down on the first floor for approximately a few years because we're not getting older and we don't need to be climbing stairs. We had the whole second floor empty. We were discussing, we spend a lot of time with our grandchildren or children, that it would be nice to create a space for them. It's only intended for my immediate family and to give them a hand, in terms of relieving some of their rent pressure. But the intent is for it to remain a single-family home with me and my family living there. And just giving them, like Steve said, some privacy. It was space that we weren't using anyhow.
Thank you. Any other questions from the board? May I have a motion?
I put forward a motion of approval with, I put forward a motion of approval.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia? He recused himself. Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Barabraza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have two companion cases. The first is case BOA 174-7263 with the address of 25 Royal Street. Along with that, we have case BOA 174-7259 with the address of 1 Empire Street. If the applicants and/or their representative are present, would they please explain these cases to the board?
Good morning, Madam Chair and members of the board. My name is Paul Rufo, Smith Duggan, Cornell and Golub, 101 Arch Street in Boston. With me today, I'm an attorney in Boston. With me today is the architect, Stephen Chung, and also the owners, a father and son, Aki Olia, O-L-I-A, and Ali Olia. Ali lives on Hooker Street, which is around the corner, in a building that was developed by his father a number of years ago. So they are owners in this immediate neighborhood and have owned this property, which is a bit of it's 4 lots together. You can see there on the site plan. And there are 2 vacant lots that one lot, 57 Hooker Street, has a 2-family on it, which is not going to be affected here. And there are 2 vacant lots which they would like to put 2 3-family houses. So just to run you through the violations, and I'll turn it over to the architect. I'm sorry, just quickly, we did have a robust community process. We had an abutters meeting with thanks to ONS, and we also went to the Alston Civic Association, presented these projects. I believe representative will speak about that. It was fairly well received. We also went to the Brighton Alston Improvement Association and got their input. Thanks to the input of the direct abutters and the Neighborhood Association, we made some tweaks to the project, including adding additional open space, which you'll hear about. But just quickly, the violations would be use. This is a 2-family, 5,000 square foot zone. We're proposing a 3-family triple-decker style. The dimensions, setback, modal front, setback, left side, and rear yard for 25 Royal Street, FAR and lot size. The height, actually the height is going to be only 31 feet where 35 feet is allowed, but the number of stories is 2.5 stories, and we're proposing 3 stories. So we need a relief for that. And then finally, parking, 5 parking spaces would be required for 3 units, and we're providing 3 off-street parking spaces, 1 space per unit. If you want the very similar process for 1 Empire Street, which is they abut each other on the rear, and Mr. Chung will take you through that. Same process, we presented them at the same time. Since these actually 3 properties are going to work together, to access one of the parking spaces, as Stephen will explain to you, we'll need a small easement over the 57 Hooker Street to access the off-street parking space, which will be underneath the 25 Royal building, but he'll explain that. The violations, as I say, are the same for 1 Empire Street, very similar. So that's the thumbnail of the proposal. I'll turn it over to Stephen Chung, our architect, to walk you through the plans and the presentation. Thank you.
Okay, so sorry, Mr. Chung, just as you're presenting, can you keep in mind 2 comments from the Disabilities Commission and just answer that at the appropriate time during your presentation? Okay. They mentioned that Unit A appears to be a basement plus first floor 2-level unit.
Is free done at tenants meeting?
Thank you. Unit A appears to be a basement and first floor unit. First floor 2-level unit, as this is a ground floor unit, it must have accessible route between levels, and then it also mentions for 25 Royal Street what is the accessible route from the parking to the entrance. It should meet all the requirements for an accessible route. So just to keep that in mind when you're presenting to us.
Okay, do you mind to stop right there? And thank you for members of the board. Good morning. Yeah, it's for the purpose of this submission. I mean, we broke apart because they're separate lots, but I wish I could show my design drawings, which really show the 3 parcels, because the yellow house to the left on that rendering is also owned by the Olias, and then the green building that you're looking at is really in question. But then to the left of that is this other site. And really, we looked at this as holistically as kind of a master plan, replacing that fence that goes around all 3 properties, creating landscaping for all 3 properties, and really tried to think about it holistically. So that was always sort of part of the thinking. And then also that there was a previous proposal, which was quite a bit larger. And I think that, I mean, I wasn't part of that, but just going back through the community input and really sort of understanding that I think that the larger building that was proposed earlier, I mean, was probably the wrong direction, and really trying to find a typology, a scale that was more in keeping with what's around it was really the right approach, which is what we eventually did. So what you're looking at is, as Mr. Rufo said, is kind of a triple-decker inspired block, which is sort of staggered and bumped to follow the site, which is, as you see, is curving. And there's really basically 3 units, 1 per floor. There is parking that's accessed from the left. There's an existing curb cut, and we sort of took that ramps down underneath the building. The site just happens to slope up, so it really creates an opportunity where when the ramp goes down, you're able to sort of park underneath that building. So I don't know if you want to scroll ahead a little bit, but basically, I mean, I think that the key things that Paul had mentioned, 3 stories, it's less than what's allowed, and really they're 1,000 square foot units. Typically, these are 3 bedrooms. So there's the parking that's underneath. That's ramping down, and then and there's 3 parking for that building, and then really these are all, you know, well, very comfortable 3-bedroom apartments with kind of an attached deck balcony, similar to you'd see in triple deckers that are in that area. I think that the meetings, we basically just really tried very hard to kind of listen and respond to kind of some of the comments about the expression, which are sort of vertically oriented windows, clapboard siding, really, again, looking at the sort of typology of triple deckers. Any questions? Did you want me to address the accessibility issue? Is that
yeah, if you could, that would be great.
So maybe go to the floor plan. And again, what was the question was?
There was one
the accessibility issue, Chair Dong, is on the access from the parking to the entrance. There was no comments on the interior.
So from the parking, I mean, there is a stair on the ground floor plan, and that stair that then leads up to the main floor. I don't know if that answers it. And then on the ground floor, if you go to the ground floor, there is some.
It's basically what's the accessible route
from the parking
lot to the entrance. Yeah.
I mean,
so I think you're just missing. Like a route of sorts, you know, I mean, it's indoor, so I'm not sure what they're looking for specifically, because it's not like you have an ADA elevator from inside the parking.
Right, yeah, so I guess I don't really know how to answer other than on the ground floor, you just see there, because of the topography of the site, there is some ramp, because there is some steps at the entry to get to the lobby. And then from the parking, I mean, it really is just going through the stair, or, I mean, I don't think the ramp is actually it's not a desirable path. For someone that's in a wheelchair or something.
Other questions from the board?
No, but but Chair, I could include some accessibility in the decision if you like.
Thank you. Okay, let's take public testimony.
Madam Chair and board members, Siggy Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant has completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on September 10th, at which an abutter raised concerns about the design of the structures and the amount and design of the usable open space. The Alston Civic Association has sent a letter of support to our office and to the board. With that background, our office defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Josh Deating. I'm a local resident. Is now the time to speak?
Are you speaking on this One Empire or 25 Royal Street? And
yes.
Okay, so state your name and address for the record and
Josh Keating. I've moved into 11 Royal Street 5 years ago. This is my first time doing this, so apologies. This is all new to me. But I came very excited to really settle down here, start a family with the introduction of the link at 525 Lincoln Street. And over the course of the 5 years I've been here, parking has just really gotten decidedly worse to the point where that may be the make or break decision for me to move with my family elsewhere. This area has always struggled with owner versus resident ratios, and I feel like it's just really hard to get ahead of that as parking is bad, and this is kind of just a college town. So it seems like this has some violations regarding parking. I don't really know all the details of what's going on, but I just saw the flyer came my way. I saw the meeting. I figured I'd mention that parking is definitely a problem. Got a lot worse with the link, and it seems like it's going to continue getting worse here. It's hard for me to find a spot when I get home from work these days, and I really got to get home early to find a spot, whereas when I first moved in, that was not an issue.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
I don't know if the applicant wants to address the comment about parking.
Maybe Paul, you can speak to that?
Well, yeah, we've provided one space per unit, which is, I would suggest, goes along with the BPD recommendations these days. Also, we're going to be freeing up some parking along the Empire Street side that's previously not available. But by developing that Empire Street, that's actually a public street, and there will be parking allowed on the side, at least one or two spaces there along that side. So, but we are certainly sympathetic to the parking issue there. That's why we're providing at least one space per unit of off-street parking.
Any other questions from the board? May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to put forward a motion of approval with a proviso that the project meets accessibility requirements.
Is there a second? Thank you. Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Benabraza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you, Madam Chair. That motion applies to both proposals.
Correct.
I'm assuming. Great. Thank you so much.
Go with me, Madam Chair. Yes, as we approach the 11 o'clock hour.
Well, why don't we just take a 5-minute break then?
Madam Chair?
Oh, yes.
Sorry to interrupt. I think there was one person for one of the cases that we missed.
Oh, was there? Okay, sorry.
Freddie, if Freddie is here for it was 1 second, please. I'm sorry. 23 Nottingham Street. The person sent me a message in the chat earlier.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Garcia-Mota.
Like all the way from the beginning, okay.
Yes, it's actually Timothy Fraser for 23 Nottingham. Thank you, board.
Madam Chair, I need to recuse myself.
Okay, well, let's let Mr. Stembridge relocate that one. That was the BFA.
No, as soon as I locate it. Sorry, 20.
The board plan office. Board plan office.
Okay, so that would be for Board final operator case for case BOA 1679542 with the address of 23 Nottingham Street. Would you go ahead and please explain?
Thank you, Mr. Stembridge, and thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board, for accommodating the schedule change. This matter was, my name is Timothy Fraser from the law firm of Dane Torpy, 175 Federal Street in Boston. This matter was before the board on February 25th, at which the board granted variances for this MOH-led project to construct a 3-story multifamily residential building with 12 affordable units and 8 off-street parking spaces on a newly combined vacant lot. When we submitted the plans, we intend to combine vacant lots to total 12,496 square feet. The refusal letter and the agenda and decision referenced the combination of 3 lots, but this is actually the combination of 4 lots that comprise that 12,496 square feet. So we're before the board for board final arbiter to just have the decision corrected to reference the combination of 4 parcels rather than 3 parcels. And again, the plans that we submitted to ISD and everything tracks with the 4 parcels. It's just the decision that references 3.
Okay, are there questions from the board? Is there a motion?
Motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, members of the board.
Now I understand that 10 Hecla is here now?
Yes.
So with that, we'll return to case BOA 1730685 with the address of 10 Hecla Street. Go ahead and explain, please.
Jenny?
Who's here from Hecla Street?
One second. She's on the 10th section. Let me elevate her.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, you
yes,
can.
you hear me now? Sorry, hello?
Yes, are you here to present for 10 Hecla?
Yes, yes. Sorry,
okay, that's okay. Can you state your name and address for the record, and then please let us know what you're proposing?
Yes, my name is Jenny Tan. I'm here for the meeting for the 10 Hecla Street. We're hoping to seek relief for this said violation to accommodate the community needs for more housing for our property. Hello?
We can hear you. Can you please proceed?
Yes, I'm so sorry if I missed or anything, because today I have a lot of things in my hand. My father just passed away, so that's why there's certain things I'm not prepared. I'm so sorry. But we're hoping to get relief on the 3. Right now it's a 2-family. Occupancy is to 2-family, and we're trying to convert it as a 3-family to hopefully get more to help with accommodate with the housing needs. And I know that it was denied because of the square footage, I believe, or the space and the parking space. So we're hoping if you can help us get this approved so we can. Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, and this is my first time at the meeting too. And if I have anything lost, just let me know. So like I said, we're hoping to get to convert it from a 2-family to a 3-family. This will really help to accommodate with the community too. And if there's anything that's needed for us, please let us know.
So just to confirm, it looks like from this, you're not expanding the footprint, you're just going up? Is that what's happening?
Yes.
Okay, and sorry for your loss. Any other questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I'm the Dorchester Community Engagement Specialist with the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on July 31st, with no abutters present, no concerns were raised. Next, the proponent presented to Meeting House Hill Civic Association, who voted in support of the proposal. To date, our office has not received any further community feedback at this time. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board with their judgment.
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board. Lane Remus from Counselor Fitzgerald's office. Our office would like to go on record in support of this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, we have somebody from the public, Jane Shaw. I'm not sure if you are speaking for this case, but you have your...
No, I just, for my own case, maybe I raised hand too early. Sorry.
All right, Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay, thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Better-Brazza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck now.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for everybody. Thank you, and have a good day. Thank you.
With that, we will now move on to the cases, to the hearing scheduled for 11 o'clock. And before we begin with those cases, we'll ask if there's any request for withdrawals or deferrals from the 11 o'clock time frame.
Good morning, Mr. Secretary. 180, 182 Savin Hill Avenue. Is a companion case as well?
Yes. So those two cases are case BOA 178-3686, the address of 180 to 182 Savin Hill Avenue. Along with that is case BOA 178-3689, also with the address of 180 to 182 Savin Hill Avenue. Would you go ahead, Attorney Christopher?
Thank you very much. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is James Christopher with of 686 Architects with the business address of 10 Forbes Road in Braintree, Mass. Here today on behalf of the owner, Christopher Tomasini, for 180, 182 Savin Hill Avenue, and requesting a very brief deferral. This project has been through a neighborhood process, but we very recently learned that there was an abutter that had some concerns. So we'd like a brief deferral to meet with that client and try to address them so that we can bring the project to the board for approval.
Okay. Stephanie?
We're into February 3rd or the 24th.
February 3rd. Yeah, we'll take February 3rd.
Okay. With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to defer to February the 3rd.
There a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Better-Brazza?
Yeah.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. See you then.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Secretary. This is Attorney Mike Ross for 567 Adams Street.
Thank you, Attorney Ross. So this will be for case BOA 1790972. The address is 577 Adams. Go ahead, Attorney Ross.
Thank you. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is, we've been requested by St. Mark's Area Civic Association to come back for a follow-up meeting based on our last meeting a month ago. a month and a half ago, and the clients agreed to do so to try to get there with the neighborhood association. So we'd like to do that, have a brief deferral so that we can come back and hopefully with a small changes to the plan.
Okay, Stephanie, same dates?
So say February 3rd or 24th.
February 3rd would be great, please.
May I have a motion?
Motion to defer this case until February 3rd.
There a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Bettabraza? Yeah. Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries. See you then.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Mr. Lenz?
Yes, good morning. Mr. Stenbridge, it's 191 Brook Street, please.
So this request is for case BOA 1790800 with the address of 191 Brook Street. Go ahead, Attorney Lenz.
Thank you. Richard Linz, business address at 245 Sumner Street, East Boston, on behalf of the petitioner. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Asking for a brief deferral, we had a chance to review the planning department's recommendation, and we think we can make some adjustments to address several comments, at least, if not all the comments. So we're asking for a brief deferral while we go ahead and make those updates.
Okay. Seeing February dates?
February 3rd or 24th, and this would be the last one for February 3rd.
February 3rd, please. Thank you.
Okay, with that, may I have a motion?
Motion to defer to February the 3rd.
May I have a second?
Second.
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Bettabraza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, motion carries. See you then.
Thank you very much. A happy and safe holiday season to you and the board.
So with that, we'll return to the hearing scheduled for 11 a.m. and we'll begin with case BOA 1705643 with the address of 101 P Street. If the applicant and or their representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board. This is Eric Zackerson, architect for the project. I believe the owner is online also, but I will walk you briefly through the project. This is an existing single-family home, which we are expanding to the rear. There are no changes to the front of the building. That was very important to the neighborhood, but we are proposing to expand 12 foot 10 inches to the rear on both levels 1 and 2. Removing an existing sunroom and adding space on the rear. So if you scroll forward a little bit, you'll see there's no changes to the basement. On this drawing, you see the dark area at the top of the page is the addition on the first floor. It should be a larger kind of family playroom, and then up above, we're expanding 2 of the guest suites or suites on the level 2 to make them kind of larger bedroom suite rooms. And then if you scroll forward, you can see in the elevation. No changes to the front of the building, very important to the neighborhood. On the sides, the building slopes from front to back, so the addition will be not continue the line of the roof, but we'll have kind of a raised roof so that the spaces in the rear have full height. That's briefly the project, and we're here for any questions and answer any.
Any questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Good morning, Madam Chair and board members. C.E. Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant has completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on October 15th, at which abutters were supportive of the application. No concerns were raised. The City Point Neighborhood Association is not opposed to this application. That background, our office defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Brian Hurley.
Hello, Madam Chairwoman, members of the board. Brian Hurley here on behalf of Senator Nick Collins, here to offer our support for the project at 101 P Street.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Ashley from City Councilor Flynn.
Thank you. Councilor Flynn would like to go on record in support based on a good community process and the proponent working closely with neighbors, abutters, and the City Point Neighborhood Association. He respectfully requests that the proponent continue to work with the community during the construction phase. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Luan.
Yes, good morning, Madam Chair and the board. Luann O'Connor, President, City Point Neighborhood Association. The abutters meeting was held. The proponent reached out to all abutters and direct abutters. There was absolutely no opposition. He specifically did not put a roof deck in his plans, which is very supportive of CPNA, and we think it's a good project. It doesn't affect the architecture of the housing stock, so we are in support of it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there is just one person in the chat that also, Elaine Smith, she's in support.
Thank you. With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Benabraza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you.
Next, we have case BOA 1688730 with the address of 69 Highland Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, would they please explain the case to the board?
Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Joel Hopper. I'm from Big Sur Construction, speaking on behalf of Emmanuel for 69 Highland Street. Pretty much what we're looking to do is to add the basement to the first floor living space. We did go through the city. We went through the butters meetings, the community meetings, the neighborhood meetings to get approval, and also we pulled permits on it. Long story short, when the property was bought, look at the prior owner, they made it like a full basement, but since then we removed the bedrooms, took out all the walls, and made it easy access for the electrical panels for the second floor and third floor unit to be able to enter at any point in time. But we just wanted to know if we can add the living space from the basement, make it like a recreation for the first floor unit.
Okay. Are there questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I'm the Roxbury Community Engagement Specialist with the Office of Neighborhood Services. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on September 30th. That was very lightly attended, where all inquiries and concerns were addressed, such as the location of the gas meters moving from inside to outside, for access, sprinkler systems, as well as a discussion of a proviso to stop the basement from being an apartment or unit in the future. Next, the proponent presented to Highland Park Neighborhood Association on October 15th, where they voted in support of the proposal. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board for their judgment.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay, with that, may I have a motion?
No.
Excuse me. Hello, Karen Smith. I don't know if you're speaking for this case. I don't know what happened with this person. Probably is not for this case. Sorry about that, but we have another person.
Okay, sorry. Where were we? Is there a motion?
Hello, can I speak?
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, Karen Smith is for 69 Holland Street. She is one of the unit owners upstairs. But I'm going to speak for myself. I was at the abutters meeting, and they did talk about the concern about the gas meters getting moved to the outside. We did have our meeting this month at the start of December, and it was mentioned that they were unsure if the gas meters were going to be able to move to the front because they didn't know if they could get coded for it. So my only concern is just I want to make sure that those gas meters are moved to a place that we can access them, because currently right now the second floor or the third floor units are not able to access the gas meters without having to go through the first floor.
Yeah, so we are pulling our long form, which is the ALT permit through the city of Boston.
So, Mr. Harper, can I just make sure we wrap up?
I am
testimony then?
still trying to speak.
Sorry.
Okay. Karen is muted. Can you unmute yourself so you can provide testimony? You're muting yourself, I think. So you need to unmute yourself.
Okay. Unmuted. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Neve, speak, and then I'll speak.
That person spoke already, so if you can provide your brief testimony as to whether you're in support or opposition and why, that would be helpful.
Opposition completely is, I was informed about this yesterday afternoon, 7 hours ago, to find out this was even happening. The next thing, my husband and I own Unit 3 in that building. And we got the abutters notice about a meeting 2 days before. Then now, 7 hours before this, and I'm just stunned that we were not informed that all of this was happening in the basement of the building until way after it had happened. So, no. We don't want this to happen. The homeowners trust should have blocked a sale to the person who currently has it. I'm just so upset about all of this.
Thank you, ma'am. Are there any other raised hands?
May I address? I'm the owner of the unit, the concern raised.
Sir, please proceed.
Yep. So my name is Emmanuel Casse. I'm the owner of Unit 1, 69 Highland Street, and the Unit 3 owner concern. I don't think Ms. McGarty has been following the email communications. So Unit 3 have 3 owners. Ms. McGarty is 25%, and the 75% owners have been informed and attended in all meetings, and all notifications has been sent by email and by posting the abutter notices appropriately, and the other unit number 2 owner can attest to that. I don't think the reason for the objection was accurate. We have all email documentation on the time it was sent. The reason the 7 hour is yesterday, once we got the link for this meeting, I went above and aboard and sent them a link through email. Hey, tomorrow is the meeting, so if you are interested to attend, this is the meeting, and that's what she's referring. But that's me being a little more trying to include them so that they don't miss it. But all notifications has been sent on time and recorded through email as well.
Okay, is there anyone else for public testimony that's not the applicant? So we're not gonna repeat people.
Yes, Madam Chair, there are 2 more people now that they just. Malik Smith, you can unmute yourself. Please state your name and address, and you have 90 seconds.
How you doing? My name is Malik Smith, one of the owners of Unit 3. I think what Karen is talking about, and this goes to the prior owner, was just that what ended up initially happening wasn't brought to the condo association until after the fact, but Amon has been trying to communicate at this point, so I think the concern precedes him, but I'm not sure how it should have been done. So I think that was the sentiment that was trying to be expressed.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay.
I have
Yes,
some.
are there questions? Yep, from the board.
Yeah, just for clarification, to access the basement, you have to go through Unit 1. Is that accurate, or is there access directly to the basement?
There is access directly through the common area through the basement.
There is, okay. And all you're doing is you're opening up, and the space that used to be these enclosed rooms, and that's to allow, and the gas tanks are staying
in the common area.
Is it moving at all?
No, the only thing that's in my property is the gas meters. So we are trying to move them into the common area. First, we try to move them outside. I'm still working with the National Grid. If the outside is not feasible, we will move them to the common area. So the previous owner has built the 2 bedrooms in the basement without notifying.
Right, so you're just trying to allow for
I'm trying to correct it. I removed the illegally built 2 bedrooms. I'm just asking to get approval for extended living space with no bedroom in it.
Right, and
essentially I'm trying to correct the mistake that was made by the previous owner.
And who owns so the basement, it's all the 3 unit owners. So in order for you to get a building permit, you are required to have agreements with the other units to allow you to do the work.
Yeah, this is dedicated unit number 1. We're not taking any common space. This is from the master plan, and everything's dedicated.
Right, so unit 1, which is what you owned, right? Okay,
correct.
It's not part of common space.
No, it is not.
Okay, I mean, it all depends on your condo board paperwork, but okay, thanks. No further questions.
Okay, any other questions from the board? May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'm going to move forward with an approval.
There's a second.
Second.
Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Betta-Barazza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
And I would encourage you to reach out to the unit owners.
I will. Thank you so much.
Address any concerns.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you all so much for your time.
The next 3 cases, 2 companions and companion cases, and the one after that have been deferred. So that will take us to case BOA 1753888 with the address of 170 Poplar Street. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Hello, this is Thomas Tunick. I am a co-owner of this property together with Jijing Zhu, who is also on the call. A good day to the board and the Madam Chair. We are proposing a slight or a change of the envelope of the, can you just stay on this picture, please, right now? Thank you very much. So what we are proposing is several-fold. First of all, you see this little house on the flat part of the roof. That is actually a staircase that goes all the way downstairs. We want to actually eliminate that staircase because it is extremely steep and certainly not suitable for a secondary means of egress. What we want to do is we want to enclose the flat part so that nobody falls down from here, and then have a staircase outside that is going over the garage into the outside there, as you can see on the right side. Also, what we want to do is we want to erase the roof. The apartment that is currently in that roof is A, an illegal apartment, that is one thing, and B, so this is dated back to probably the 1970s at the very least, maybe even before that. And we want to put a box on top of this, as you can see on the right side, and increase the living area from the 2nd floor apartment into the 3rd floor. that creates a zoning variance from a 2F, where the third floor part is somewhat too large for the current zoning requirements. And I invite questions.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board? Hearing none, may I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and members of the board, for the record, my name is Jeremy Bembury. I serve as the Community Engagement Specialist for the Office of Neighborhood Services for Roslindale. The applicant has completed the community process, which consisted of an abutters meeting facilitated on September 10th with 2 abutters in attendance, 1 voice support for the proposal, and no oppositions or concerns were raised. Following the abutters meeting, no further community process was required, and to date, our office has not received any further community feedback at this time. Thank you for your time, and the Mayor's Office of Neighborhood Services would like to defer to the board with their judgment. Thank you.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, next we have Jane Shaw. I think this is the case that you want to speak on.
I just co-own this house with the speaker Thomas Chung. So, yeah, I just in case someone asks the questions, yeah, no comments. Okay. You know, definitely I'm our co-owners fully support.
Thank you. Any other public comments?
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Braza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much and have a great day.
Madam Chair, since we've passed the 11:30 hour, I will ask if there are any requests for withdrawals or deferrals from the 11:30 time frame.
Yes, hello, 62 L Street?
Yes.
This request is for case BOA 1575425 with the address of 62 L Street. Would you go ahead and explain, please?
Yes, my name is David Luciano. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. My name is David Luciano. I'm the owner of 62 L Street in South Boston. After a community process, we revised our plans to accommodate some requests from our neighbors. There is one additional item, small item that we're waiting on to complete our updated package to ISD. So we're requesting a short deferral to submit that item and have one more abutters meeting.
Okay.
February 24th or March 10th?
We'll take the 24th, please.
Okay. With that, may I have a motion?
Motion to defer this case to February 24th.
Okay. May I have a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Braza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. See you then.
Thank you.
There are no more requests for deferrals, for withdrawals or deferrals from 11:30. Then we will return to the last. We will return to the last case.
I need.
Jesus, I'm sorry. You need to mute this person.
Yeah. Can you stop, please, unmuting yourself?
We've moved on.
We'll return to the last case for 11 o'clock, scheduled for 11 o'clock, which is case BOA 1719183, excuse me, with the address of 72 to 74 Mapleton Street.
Board, Tim Johnson, the project architect. 58 Mile Street is currently a vacant lot.
I need.
Curb cut located in the
Yeah.
2F-5000 zoning subdistrict.
I need,
The minimum lot size in the zoning district is 5,000. We are at 3,120 square feet. The lot width and frontage is required is 40 feet. We're at 39. FAR side yard. My clients, Liz and David Siggers, have owned this property. Have been in the neighborhood for 30 years. They own this vacant lot at 58 Mallet and also the abutting property at 56 Mallet, which is currently a two-family dwelling. At 58 Mallet, we are proposing a 2.5-story two-family dwelling.
I'm sorry, I'm very confused. Are we
on Mapleton? Yeah, same confusion.
And then if I could request that
I need
Karen be removed from the panelists, thank you.
We are proposing a 2.5-story two-family dwelling and reconfiguring the existing curb cut.
So, Mr. Johnson, just to confirm, are you presenting for 72 Mapleton? Because I heard Mallet Street. So is there anyone here to present on Mapleton Street?
Madam Chair, I don't see anyone.
Okay. Okay, so we'll try to circle back to this. And Mr. Stenbridge can go to the next case, which is also not valid.
Okay, Madam Chair. We will move on now to the rediscussion scheduled for 11:30. And the first case is case BOA 1653647 with the address of 38 Fenway. If the applicant and/or their representative are present, will they please explain this case to the board?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Stenbridge. Good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Attorney John Pulgini here on behalf of the owners and developers of this project, Mark Ehrman and Chi Kwan. Also with us today is the team architect, David Freed. 38 Fenway, the zoning is multifamily residential 2. The lot size is 3,000 square feet. The proposal before you today is for the redevelopment of the building at 38 Fenway. The existing building at 38 Fenway has been unoccupied for decades and has fallen into extreme disrepair. Mark and Chi are longtime residents of the Back Bay neighborhood and are determined to remediate the building and turn it into a location that will not only provide much needed additional housing to the city, but a building they can manage and live for themselves. They intend this to be an owner-occupied building and for themselves and also for their adult children. To do so, they plan to change the use of the building to a 5-unit multifamily dwelling, as allowed by zoning, and complete a full interior renovation along with the vertical and rear additions. An elevator will be installed along with rear decks and a private roof deck. The building will be ADA accessible and 3 parking spaces will be provided. The unit mix will be as follows. Unit 1 on the first floor is a studio at 492 square feet. Unit 2, second floor, is a 2-bed, 1,492 square feet. Unit 3 is on the third floor. It's a 2-bed, 1,646 square feet. Unit 4 is on the fourth floor. That is a 2-bed, 1,631 square feet. And Unit 5, which is the owner's unit, is on both the 5th and 6th level, and it's a 1-bed, 3,288 square foot building. Our zoning violations are use. Basement is a forbidden use in the zoning subdistrict. FAR, what's allowed is 4.0. We were at 4.25. And rear yard. Those are the only violations. The minimum rear yard is 20. We're at 15. It should be noted that the rear yard of this property does not abut any neighboring properties. It abuts a public alley to the rear of the, you can see it on the screen right there. It abuts a public alley to the rear of the property. This proposal went through an extensive community process. It started way back in September 24. The proposal's been through 3 abutters meetings as well as a meeting with in continued dialogue with Fenway Civic. Community input has resulted in multiple changes to the proposal over the past year. At this point, I'd like to turn it over to David Freed to walk through the plans, and we will be happy to answer any questions after his presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, John. My name is David Freed, and I'm an architect at Chu & Company. Hello, Madam Chair and members of the board. If you could please go back one sheet. Thank you. So just to take you quickly through the plans, as John said, the existing building was a single-family house. We're doing an addition to the rear and also a vertical addition. So on the alley level or the garden level, we're going to have 2 garage parking spaces, and then we'll have a studio unit that meets the code requirements for light and air. Actually, it exceeds the code requirements for light and air. If we could go to the next sheet, please. And then for the next 3 floors, we have flats that are laid out as 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and a study. They're very generously sized at 1,429 square feet, as John said, and then I believe at 1,646 for floors 2 and 3. If we can go back to I keep going up to the next sheet, A12. Thank you. Yeah, and so the unit stack, there is an existing fire escape, fire egress balcony from the adjacent building, which we will maintain and connect back to our building. Next floor, please. Same layout, and then as we get up to sheet A14, we have a very unique layout for this unit based on the owner's particular program. As John said, it's a very large 1-bedroom at over 3,200 square feet. The building will be elevator accessed and ADA accessible for the owner. If you could please go up one more sheet, please. And then the following sheet. And then we have a roof deck on the very top floor that will be accessible for the owner. And then if we go to the elevations. So the addition is, the existing building is a sort of a cream brick building with a limestone base. We're cladding the addition in cream color terracotta cladding to provide kind of a visual separation from the existing brick and also highlight kind of a contemporary layer and respecting the historical building. If we go to the next elevation, please. Thank you. So the back will be paneled with light gray textured metal panels, which will also provide kind of a neutral tone in contrast to the existing brick. And each of those units will have very large balconies, so they all have open space. Next sheet, please. And then the exposed sidewalls will be clad in a patterned fiber cement panel. Next sheet, please. And then if we go to the following sheet, we have a rendering, some renderings there. The addition won't be visible from the sidewalk, however, it would be visible from the park on the adjacent side of the street. Next sheet, please. And that would be a sort of a 2-scale rendering of our proposal. And that wraps up my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Are there questions from the board?
Yes, I read some of the comments from local organizations. They have concerns that this proposal is going to be for short-term rentals instead of housing. What is your vision for the property once this is redeveloped?
Thank you for the question, Mr. Valencia. So Mark and Chi currently live on Beacon Street. They're elderly. Mark has a degenerative disease, which is making it very difficult to live in. It's a single-family house on Beacon Street that is a very large home, but it's not ADA accessible. As his medical condition deteriorates, he needs to live in a building that has an elevated building, and that's why you can see that you have a 3,200 square foot unit that's only a 1-bed, and that will be the owner's unit. So there is no intent. We've been working with the district councilor on this as well, and I know there was some questions from I think primarily from the Fenway CDC. However, they have no intent and will not. I mean, they're spending a real lot of money reinvesting into this building. It's a very difficult build the way it sits because of the construction will be more difficult, obviously, than most projects. Their intent is not to ever rent this out as short-term rentals or anything like that. They are not those kind of people, and it certainly doesn't bode well for them investing all this money to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the board? May I have public testimony?
Madam Chair and board members, Siggy Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant has completed the community process. Our office has hosted 3 abutters meetings regarding this proposal, the first in October 2024, second in December 2024, and the third on October 6, 2025. Abutters were universally opposed to the proposal at all these meetings. Abutters felt that the design is not contextual to the area, that the plans are not consistent with the use proposed. Abutters were concerned that the property will actually be used for short-term rentals. The Fenway Civic Association is opposed to this application and has sent a letter to the board explaining their position. And with that background, our office defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Siggy, could I just interrupt 1 second? I believe the Fenway Civic Association emailed us yesterday. They're taking no position on this project. And I think that's probably what the email will show.
The information that my office has been provided is that they were opposed, but I can double check on that for you.
Yeah, I can forward you the email, but go ahead, I'm sorry.
So let's
sorry
keep
to
going.
interrupt.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Next, we have Christian Simonelli, please.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Christian Simonelli, Boston Groundwater Trust, and we have both G-card letters from the applicant.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Lily Suberman, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, that's okay, Suderman. Lily Suderman again with Councillor Durkin's office. I'm going to read a letter she submitted to the board really quickly. It says, Dear Chair Dong and members of the board, thank you for the opportunity to comment on the zoning relief requested at 38 The Fenway. This property has been in poor condition for decades and has largely sat vacant since the 1980s. Because of its long deterioration, many neighbors are eager to see the building restored, and the possibility of reinvestment has generated considerable interest. I'm not opposed to the project moving forward, though I do want to respectfully highlight a few concerns raised by neighborhood stakeholders. Both the Fenway Civic Association and Fenway Forward have raised specific concerns about the variance requested. FCA's letter to the board notes objections regarding the scale of the proposed additions and emphasizes the importance of maintaining the historic character in the Fenway's built environment. There are also questions about future use, particularly with respect to short-term rentals and student-oriented leasing, and the need for assurances that the property will remain the proponent's residence. I do acknowledge these concerns and believe they merit careful consideration. At the same time, I recognize the rare opportunity to restore a long neglected property and return it to residential use. I also want to note that the applicants, who are currently constituents living in the Back Bay, reached out to my office directly. In their letter, they explained that they purchased 38 The Fenway to accommodate a medical condition and the resulting need for a more accessible building. They stated clearly that they have no interest in allowing short-term rentals and will prohibit tenants from doing so. Their plan to redevelop the building into 5 units served by an elevator with 1 unit for themselves and the remaining units intended for their children and long-term tenants. I've also reviewed the Planning Department's memorandum on this proposal, and I would like to request the recommended provisos be included. Specifically, they request that the applicant obtain review and approval of the plans by the Boston Water and Sewer Commission due to the site's location within the Groundwater Conservation Overlay District, and that the plans be submitted to the Planning Department for further review with particular attention to the design of the vertical addition and maneuverability of the proposed parking spaces. This building is special, and we believe it requires special consideration in the terms of design. With these provisos added, the councilor would like to be recorded as in non-opposition. Thank you for your time and consideration.
Thank you.
Next, we have Stephen Farrell.
Good morning. Good morning. My name is Stephen Farrell. I'm the Executive Director of Fenway Forward, formerly Fenway CDC. Fenway Forward has participated in the public abutters meetings over the last year and has had several conversations with John Pulgini, the lawyer for the proponent, multiple times over the same period of time. As I have shared in each of these conversations, the primary concern for Fenway Forward as an immediate abutter and as a community membership-based organization has been the allowed use of the apartments, specifically because the significant upward pressure that short-term rentals and renting to undergraduate students have on local rents. We ask that the proponent consider entering into a good neighbor agreement with us, again, on behalf of the community that prohibits these 2 rental categories. Because we know good neighbor agreements have no official standing with the City of Boston, Fenway Forward engaged in conversations with the attorney for the proponent so as to identify a potential pathway, specifically a written document with some level of accountability related to the renters of the units, and ideally setting a standard for future projects in the Fenway. During our participation at the abutter meetings in our role as a neighbor and membership-based organization, we have requested that our concerns and the concerns of other neighbors be addressed in an open and transparent manner. I believe and am grateful that the process has been open and transparent. In fact, Fenway Forward has shared a template of a good neighbor agreement previously used in another neighborhood with a proponent's lawyer, and we remain in discussions about options to move forward. Therefore, because the proponent's lawyer has said that the proponent continues to be open to this concept, and even though the concept has not yet been executed, Fenway Forward does not oppose this project in the hope that further conversations will yield a good neighbor agreement amenable to all parties. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay. Mr. Gugini, anything you want to add?
Just this, I mean, this issue is, it's a non-issue. It really is a non-issue. These people they live in the Back Bay in a very expansive house right now that they're selling. The owner has Parkinson's disease. He has to move into a house that is ADA accessible. That's where it's coming from. They have no intention of ever renting this out as short-term. It's just an issue that was raised, and it's how do you undo something that was raised when it wasn't your intent to do it. So, we'll continue through the process. Like I stated, they had reached out to Councilor Durkin's office directly, communicated that intent with them, and we'll continue to work with Steve. He's a very nice guy. And, as well as the Civic, so Fenway Civic, and go forward from there. But, again, relying upon what the BPDA recommendation states, it's consistent with all the other developments. And obviously, if people don't like the design, it has to go through BPDA design review anyway. So most times designs change. Excuse me. But thanks for the opportunity.
Okay, any other questions from the board? May I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I make a motion of approval with Boston and Water and Sewer Commission review due to the project location within the G-Code district. And also that the project undergoes planning department review with attention to the design of the vertical addition and to improve parking configuration, considering the reduction of parking spaces if needed.
Mr. Stemanelli already signed off on G-Code, but that's, we can.
I think they just got mixed up in when there was forwarding paperwork. Yes.
Yeah, that's okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Better-Brazza?
Yes.
Thank you. Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great Christmas. Enjoy your holidays. Thank you.
Madam Chair, I'm going to return to the last case for 11 a.m. I believe the attendance has arrived.
Okay.
And that this is for case BOA 1719183 with the address of 72 to 74 Mapleton Street. If the applicant and or their representative present, will they please explain to the board?
Madam Chair, I don't see anybody for this project.
Okay, then
Okay, 1 second. I think actually there is one person now. Aguimar, if you can.
Hello, hi. Hello?
Yes.
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Are you here from Mapleton Street?
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Hold on, I gotta walk into a little closer space. Give me 1 second. Hello? You can't say anything.
Okay. Are you here for Mapleton Street?
I forgot.
Sir, are you here for Mapleton Street?
No, oh, okay, now I am. Sorry, I was on mute. I'm so sorry.
Okay.
72 Mapleton.
Can you just state your name and address for the record and please proceed? Thank you.
Yes, my name is Adi de Souza, and the address is 72 Mapleton Street. I'm the general contractor representing the owner.
Okay, and what are you proposing?
Well, this is a two-family home, a legal two-family home with a illegal third floor unit on the third floor. Right now, they have a third floor unit that's already there. She says she bought it like this, I'm not sure, but anyway, what we try to do here is change the use of the building, going from a 2-family home to a 3-family home. That's all.
Okay, so the unit's already there and no additional work is being done?
No, nothing's being done, it's already there.
Okay. Questions from the board? Hearing none, is there public testimony?
Madam Chair and board members, Siggy Johnson with the Office of Neighborhood Services. This applicant has completed the community process. Our office hosted an abutters meeting on June 11th, at which no concerns were raised. The applicant met with the Brighton Alston Improvement Association, which chose to abstain on taking a position regarding this application. With that background, our office defers judgment to the board. Thank you.
Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay, with that, may I have a motion?
Motion of approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. Stenbridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Better-Brazza?
Yes.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham? You're on mute, Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yep, that's okay. Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you very much. You have a great day, everyone.
And with that, we will go to the last scheduled case for rediscussions of 11:30. This is case BOA 1696317 with the address of 58 Mallet Street. If the applicant and or the representative are present, will they please explain to the board?
Thank you, Mr. Umbridge. Tim Johnson, the project architect. Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the board. Currently, 58 Mallet Street is a vacant lot with a curb cut. It's located in the 2F-5000 zoning subdistrict. We are proposing a 2.5-story, 2-family dwelling. The lot size minimum is 5,000. We are at 3,120 square feet. The minimum lot width and frontage is 40 feet. We are at 39 feet. The usable open space, 750 square foot per dwelling unit. We're at 636 square foot per dwelling unit. And the FAR max is 0.5. We're at 0.7. Lastly, the yards, the front yard requirement is 15 feet. We're at 6 feet to align with the other buildings on the street. And the side yard minimum is 10 feet. We're at 6 feet. My clients, Liz and Dave Siggers, have been in this neighborhood for over 30 years. They also own the abutting property to the left, which is 56 Mallet, a 2-family. And on the vacant lot, we're proposing a 2.5-story, 2-family dwelling. We're also proposing to relocate the existing curb cut of the lot to provide a shared driveway between the existing 2-family at 56 Mallet and the proposed 2-family at 58 Mallet Street. The new units at 58 Mallet Street will be 2-bedroom units, approximately 1,100 square feet, and each will have a rear deck for outside enjoyment. We are also, as I just mentioned, proposing a shared driveway between the two buildings to provide 2 off-street parking spaces for each 2-family building. There are also a number of trees on the site, and we work to, with a direct abutter, to make sure any trees that we did take down, we would replant them. So currently we're proposing to take down 3 trees, but we will be planting 3 trees to replace those trees on both between 58 and 56 Mallet Street. This doesn't conform to the stretch energy code, which is 20% more energy efficient than current code. This will be an all-electric building for heating, cooling, and cooking. And we do follow the dark sky initiative. All down lights will be shielded and downlit. Finally, we did receive support of the direct abutters, neighbors, and the St. Mark's Civic Association. And that's my brief presentation, Madam Chair.
Thank you. One of the recommendations from the planning department mentioned moving a curb cut to preserve an existing tree. Is that something that you would be open to?
Yes, there is if we go to the site plan, which is close to the beginning of the drawing set. Yes, right there. You can see where the proposed 10-foot driveway is, and the existing street tree as shown. We feel that we can provide the required cubic feet of soil beneath the sidewalk for a good, healthy tree to grow, and provide the relocated easement, the relocated curb cut between the two buildings. We can submit a surveyed plot plan showing the curb cut, the existing tree location, and the required tree well and subsoil condition below.
Thank you. Other questions from the board?
Yes, I'm looking at the site plan and I see that the big area of the lot is going to be covered by asphalt to accommodate 4 cars. Could you be willing to reduce the parking count to maybe 1 parking per unit so you can have more open space?
Well, the requirement for this zoning subdistrict for parking is 1 space per dwelling unit. So we would incur a zoning violation if we began removing the number of cars from the site. The open space required is 750 per dwelling unit. We're at 636 square feet open space per dwelling unit. We're also providing rear decks for the proposed. The existing does have rear decks, and also with the trees, we feel that we're providing the same number of trees that are on the site now. So there is a balance. There's a tug of war between parking between the city and the neighborhood. We feel that these parking spaces are needed, and there is an existing curb cut that we're relocating.
I actually think, I think you actually did a good job, like consolidating the aisle, but perhaps a good balance would be to provide more of a permeable materials so you don't have impervious, coverage. So I think you can do it through materials.
That's a good point, Ms. Brazo. I do use an interlocking permeable paver a lot in the city, and they work quite well.
Okay, great, thank you.
May we have public testimony?
Okay, I'm not sure if somebody from ONS is providing public testimony. If not, we can move forward with the city councilor's offices. We have Attorney Gilardi, please. Proceed.
Thank you. Good afternoon, good afternoon, Madam Chair, members of the board. Anthony Gilardi from City Council Aaron Murphy's office. The council would like to go on record in support of the application. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next, we have Liam Rimas.
Hello, Madam Chair, members of the board, Liam Rimas from Council Fitzgerald's office. I also would like to go on record in support of this proposal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Without Madam Chair, there are no additional comments.
Okay. With that, may I have a motion?
Madam Chair, I'd like to prefer a motion of approval with a proviso that the project works with permeable material for the driveway.
There's a second?
Second.
Mr. Stembridge?
Yes.
Mr. Valencia?
Yes.
Ms. Turner?
Yes.
Ms. Better-Braza?
Yeah.
Ms. Wewell?
Yes.
Mr. Langham?
Yes.
Chair votes yes, the motion carries. Good luck.
Thank you, Madam Chair, and Merry Christmas.
Thank you. All right, so for those we won't see next week, happy holidays and
happy holidays.
Week.
Happy holidays.
Recording stopped.
Happy holiday.